Welcome to Policy on Demand's Week in Review. I'm Andrew Pryor.
What would you tell clients are your takeaways from this week?
The presidential race overshadowed Treasury Secretary Yellen's trip to Brazil for this week's G20 finance ministers meeting, where Pillars 1 and 2 of the OECD Global Tax Agreement were expected to be discussed. A multilateral convention on Amount A of Pillar 1 has not been finalized. U.S. support for the MLC is contingent on an agreement on Amount B of Pillar 1, but other countries have raised objections to U.S. demands. Underscoring the lack of Pillar 1 progress, Treasury this week indicated it may seek to extend digital services tax standstill agreements, suspending trade retaliation against 7 countries. The agreements expire June 30th. Elsewhere, the United Nations published revised draft terms of reference for a UN tax convention, which will be the basis for a second round of discussions and negotiations set to begin next week. And Belgium disclosed that a legal challenge has been filed against its legislation implementing a Pillar 2 global minimum tax, in particular, the Undertaxed Profits Rule, UTPR.
Which question related to policy did you get asked the most, and how did you respond?
The question I got asked the most this week is about the impact of Vice President Kamala Harris as the presumptive Democratic nominee on presidential campaign tax proposals. My response? Harris probably won't diverge too much from the Biden tax plan, since she has been vice president and effectively had to adopt those as her own during the past 3 years. In addition, while there may be differences at the margin, Harris's past positions on tax policy are broadly consistent with the Biden tax plan. As a 2020 presidential candidate, she supported many of the same or similar tax proposals for higher taxes on large corporations and upper-income individuals, and her signature tax proposal as a senator was expanding the child and earned income tax credits.
Where should companies focus their attention in the coming week?
The House has started its summer recess, and the Senate will depart at the end of next week. Congress isn't scheduled to return until September. In a typical election year, one might expect the August recess to be a relatively quiet period for tax policy. However, congressional tax writers will be busy next month as they continue to prepare for the upcoming 2025 tax debate. In particular, the House Ways and Means GOP tax teams will be fanning out across the country next month, holding roundtables and other events designed to gather input from the public and stakeholders. Companies should take this opportunity to engage with policymakers in their states and districts.